Hey kids, Mark Miller here. Welcome. Fred's over here. How you doing, Fred? Good. Fred's doing good. We're here for day 3 this week of working on our Dungeons and Dragons map editor. Today we're going to go start something new. We finished up some really great coding the last couple episodes. If you've not seen those, definitely I recommend checking those out if you're into high quality code. Good stuff there. Let me kind of show you where we're going. I should also, by the way, I think, let you know that it's...
Disclaimer! Mark doesn't know what he's doing!
That's right. My prep for the show is pretty much zero, other than starting up Visual Studio. I have really no idea how we're going to solve it. To be fair, I kind of don't even have a strong sense of the problem we need to solve. You'd think I would have given that some thought, but I'm like, we're just rolling right in with it. I think the cool thing about this, when I do this kind of thing, though, which is just about every day, is it's kind of a nice lesson in what is...
In the house!
I just need a napkin. If I get something on my face, if I have like something sticking out, how's that? A little better? How you doing, sex positive? A napkin to plan. That's true. It's a little bit interesting, isn't it? How I do that thing. Yeah. Cool. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go and we're going to figure this out. So let me show you kind of the where we are. We have the Dungeons and Dragons map editor. Let's bring that up here. We'll get that started, run that. Let's get some music while we're hanging out, waiting for our good friend Rory Becker to join us. He'll be in about an hour. Got some rock and roll there. And I'm starting up the D&D Map spike here. Which is the, going to bring up our map editor. All right, here we are. So here's our map editor, like this. Let me open up another map. Why not? We'll open up Ice World, I suppose. Actually, I think I want to. I might want to open up the other one. Yeah, opening times are long on this, and I think it's the algorithm that generates the walls. And it's actually, I think that's not really fair to say. I think it's the code that's executed when we're blending the wall images to make these nice looking walls all the way around there. All right, we can work with this. All right, so the idea is we're here. And I want to be able to drop characters and monsters and non-player characters, NPCs, onto the map. That's what I want to be able to do. So I want to throw like a skeleton right here, a skeleton archer. I want to throw that over here in our ice world. To do that, we're going to need some sort of way to do exactly that, right? By default, we've got these stamps that we can drop down. So we've already created this architecture here where it allows me to come in and say, well, let's drop this down here, and now I've got a gravestone here on the map, like that I can put inside the map and drop it in a particular location. And so I can kind of drop things in already, but I don't think I necessarily want players showing up among the stamps. I think I want a different way to manipulate these. So I think I need to change the UI to put like a tab up here that's going to be stamps, and another tab next to it that's going to be players or monsters. However, when I have a monster on the ground like this, I want to be able to click and move it. I want to be able to set properties of it. These options won't be here, but some of the properties I think will be here. Like being able to bring up the property editor for the monster by clicking here and having a whole set of unique properties for that monster there. For example, we could specify name, that sort of thing. So we're going to reuse a lot of the code that we wrote to bring up this cool property editor here, and we're going to do that same kind of thing. So I think that's what we'll do. First thing was, let's build that UI. How tough is that going to be? And actually, before we do that, let's kind of give you a secondary peek at how we're going to create the monsters. So here I have Adobe After Effects loaded. And let's see if I can switch these around so you can kind of see what's going on here. Let's pop this in right there so it's a little bit smaller. Okay, so basically I've set up this animation, and the animation kind of goes through this. And all I have to do is load up and import a new character, and it'll run the animation. So that's it, like that. And that's what it looks like. So the intention is to use this animation to be able to point the character wherever I want to, and also support wherever he's pointing a fall in at least one of 8 directions. So if he's hit, the piece will knock over and fall on the game board like that, and it'll end up in this final position there where it's resting if he's unconscious or dead, I suppose, as well. So the idea is to make it feel like a game board. All right? So that's what's going on. Now this, let's generate this. And let me take you to my next folder. I've got a folder called Monster Production over here. And I'm going to take all of these and just delete these right here. And Monster Asset Builder has one of those open. Let's go ahead and close that as well. Okay, and try again, and that should take it out. I'm also going to go into cropped, and I'm going to take everything out of cropped as well. This is just from some earlier tests that I was running. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to generate the monster data here in this folder. This cropped folder is where it's putting it, but I think I actually don't want to put it in cropped. Let's go into the monster asset builder, see if we can find the word cropped in here. Cropped folder. It's putting it doing it as a combine here. This is where we're getting the stand. I think I want to change this. I want to kind of do some hard-coded logical positioning of this is what I want to do. Let's open up a second instance of Explorer. And let's go to our assets. So this is inside WW Root Game Dev Assets. This is what we're running on. I got maps here. I think I might put it as a subfolder of maps. Ooh, I've got a folder here called miniatures. What's going on in there? This is just some PSP image files that I was doing some tests in. I think I'm going to stick it in miniatures. This is where I'm going to put it. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set my crop folder to this path right here. And let's go take crop folder. Where else are we using this? Anywhere else? Just in those 3 places? Okay. Should I put it here? That's the question. I'm thinking about it. Or at the very least, let's do this. All right, so there's my miniature folder. And the miniature folder will be there. I want to rename this to miniature. I can't rename that, really? Can I rename it here? We're not running, are we? Oh, because it's coming from image cropper. I see what's happening here. Hold on. Let's look at that. Image cropper. I think it's over here in my imaging tools. What are we doing with crop folder in here? All right, maybe I'm not going to mess with that because it's in this lower level library. Okay, so we're using this for the anchor data, for just sending the anchor data out, which is where all the anchors are in all of these pieces that it creates. Yeah, I'm not liking the way this is working. I think I'm going to change it over here, cropped folder. I'm going to change it to target folder is what I'm going to do. Can't rename this here. Oh, because we're running. All right, let's kill the app. Target folder. And then the target path is equal to simply the target folder, like that, here. All right, so let's build that. And let's come back over to Monster Asset Builder, change crop folder. And here we're just going to go grab it. like that. Check, check, check. Is my volume low? Why would that be the case? That. Check, check. It does seem low. Check, 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 check. I can pump it up to about there. Check, check, check. Test, test, test. How's that? Okay. Thanks, Roy. Okay, I'm back over here looking at target folder here. Let's go find where else where the crop folder is. And now we got a straight out saying here's where that target folder is. It's not quite what I want to do, though. Let's set a breakpoint here and let's run it. Okay, no data here, so we need to create some data. That means we need to come over into monsters. I'm going to delete this right here. We need to generate some monster data right in here. So we're going to go into Adobe After Effects. We're going to take this right here. By the way, I have in the background this kind of graph to show me what a medium character looks like. And everything's set up so that every character I bring in always starts pointing in the same direction. So all of these are going to be just a sweet set of assets for what we're going to we'll be able to use. I think it's going to be very cool when we get out here. All right, so I'm going to come in here. This is a skeleton. I'm going to say I want to pop this over here in this folder, and I'm going to call this skeleton, I think, but I don't want it to be AVI type. Hold on. What happened? What did I click? Something like this. Hold on. I don't want that. I want PNG. And there we go. So the file name, you can see it. Let me zoom in on it just a little bit right here. There it is right there. So the file's going to be named like that. Skeleton. Like that. I think I might actually call it Skeleton Archer because I think I'm going to have a couple different skeletons. Should I have it skeleton underscore archer? Like I'm thinking that actually makes more sense to use an underscore to separate monster name or species name from a subtype that we could maybe also look for. So I'm going to do that. Skeleton underscore archer, save it, and now we're going to go render. And if we open that up, there you go. You can see the images starting to come in here like this. And there we select it, and there you can see the image is right there. So we can kind of see as we move and spin around this, what the images look like. Now, the asset builder that we've got is going to now create a new asset of it. If we come over here, I don't have a refresh button on it. Let's see. File. Ooh, check it out. But we've got a file system watcher out here. Let's run it. Are you going to load it? Creature skeleton is missing images. Let's run it again. See if we still feel that is true. We may have loaded it too soon. Let's look at my change timer here. What's my time on the reload? Let's double it to 4,000 seconds. All right, let's run it. Creature skeleton is missing images. Why are we missing images for skeleton? Did I not export the whole thing? Is this my export? Let's try again. Control M to export. We're going to come back in here. We're going to make it skeleton archer. Like that. Maybe PNG. And render. Nothing showing up here. Oh, we're still rendering. Okay, that's cool. Every time we get an update, what's happening is the file system watcher is resetting the timer. We're basically going to wait 4 seconds after we stop getting these updates. Okay, and then if everything's awesome, still missing images. Let's go look at why that error message, what's going on with that. Has all images, that's where we want to kind of be. What's my stand count? Stand count is 74. Why is that the case? Is it because of, I know why it is. Okay, it's because I used the underscore. I'm pretty sure that's why, because, hold on. Let's not do this. Let's go look in. Let's fix the code to make this work. Add image, index, try parse. So here's what's happening. My underscore position, I'm getting the first one. I want to get the last one. I bet that fixes it right there. Let's restart it and use last index of. I think this is going to give us much better results. I'm just going to hit F10. Yep, there we go. Got all the images this time. Okay, sweet. And now we've got our skeleton archer. And now when I hit crop, so here's the problem, is when these are generated, these files are all 1920 by 1080. Right? That's what the size of each one of these is. And what I want to do instead is I want to crop them so they're much smaller. And I want to crop them, depending on what the action is, into individual sets of files. For example, when I'm falling south, in the direction south, like this right here, I want to crop only the fall south so I get a nice rectangle around it, like right in there, right around it. So it's very small for the south fall and have it separate from like the west fall or the east fall or the north fall. So I'm trying to reduce the overall amount of assets I have to load up when I load up a monster, how many pixels I need to load. And so that's what's going on behind this design here. And so if I do crop now, I hopefully still have my breakpoint in here. Assume I've got something out here called crop. Button crop.click. Yeah, I got my breakpoint right there. Sweet. So I'm going to hit crop. And what I want to do here is I want to take my image cropper and I want to change its target folder. Is what I want to do. I want to say image cropper dot target folder equals, and I want to give it a name that matches at least the first name of the creature is what I want to do. So this is going to look like path.combine. No. This, comma, and something, whatever that creature first name is. Creature race, like that maybe. Creature kind, which I'm going to declare as a string, and we're going to figure out what that value is here forthwith. Do I have in creature, what do I have coming in creature? Null at this point, but we're about to change it. So let's step. Now what do I got in creature? Creature name, skeleton archer. Okay, so we're going to say it's equal to creature name. But then I want to trim up if this dot index of that is greater than 0. Then I want to say creature kind equals creature kind dot everything before. Do I have access to that? I don't have that here. Okay. That's in a class where I keep my extension methods. Instead, I'm going to underscore position is equal to that. If underscore position is greater than 0, then creature kind is equal to creature kind dot substring 0 comma underscore position. Let's get to here. So it's going down here. It's cropping the images right now, which we can't, because it's in a tight loop, we can't see it. I wonder if I can pull this away. There it is. You can see right there. So it's now taking each one, cropping the sets of images. There you can see the crop lines are the reds, and as it goes past it, it adjusts and calculates it based on transparency. What are we doing? Seems like we are frozen. Okay, cool. We're here. So now we're here, skeleton archer. And going to get that underscore position. We got it. Now creature kind is now going to change to skeleton. Sweet. Then we're going to change our target folder to actually go to our miniature folder plus that skeleton name right there. And does that work? That looks like that's worked. Okay. And so now if I run it from here, we should now see, just writing the anchor data. Uh-oh, are we going to have trouble here? Oh, yeah. Wait. No, the target folder has been changed to skeleton. We're in really good shape. Okay, so we just run it. Now, two things that we need to do. One is we need to clean up all this old, big, fat monster data that's in here. These are all these 1920 by 1080s. So you're trying to produce the smallest images that will contain the creature. How does that affect the relative position of the center of the base in each of those images? Well, Rory, I'm really glad you asked. It's as if we actually kind of, uh-oh, we got a problem. Problem alert, problem. I don't know why these are all here. They should be in here. But look at what we create right here. This anchors file right here. Whoops. No. What did I just choose? Upload to Monosnap? No. I don't know what that was about. Hopefully that'll stop. And check it out. The anchor data is calculated. Hold on. Windows installer wants to make changes. I'm going to say no. I don't know what that is about. File extensions is supported. Good. close. I don't want to upgrade. All right, so here we go. So look at what we're doing. For the stand, here's the origin X and Y. For the fall north, here's the origin X and Y. Right? All of these are kept and calculated separately. So if I'm standing, I know what my origin offsets are. And now I want to fall to the north. I now have new origin offsets to make the fall theoretically be seamless from that location. So we're storing all of those individual anchor points as well in this file that's created. The problem is, though, we put these all in the wrong spots. These are all in the wrong spots. I don't want these here. That makes me sad. Maybe because we changed it too late. Let's delete all of these. Let's delete skeleton as well. Got the skeleton archer base in there. That's nice. Let's delete skeleton as well. All right. Now we've got this original data that we still need. By the way we do that, it's in the skeleton last image right here. The way we figure out the center position is this last image that's generated looks empty. It's actually not empty. Yeah, look, I think I can zoom in on it. See right there? That's it right there. It's got one single red pixel in the middle of it. And that middle of it corresponds to the middle of this right here. So that tells us where the middle of the base is. That's generated, and that can move depending on the base size, that sort of thing, if we need to move it. So that just allows us to do the math automatically. We just analyze this last one, find the red pixel, and then apply the math to all of these. Let's figure out why we're generating these in the wrong places. Oh, I bet I know why. Yeah, this crop images, that's all happening. We need to move this up here, is what we need to do. So let's close the app down and restart it. We're going to move this code right up here, like that. Because I'm pretty sure if you go and look at crop images, you're going to see it's writing files out. In apply crop, that's out here, but we've got it in the other, we've got that source code over here. Apply crop. Crop file. Yeah, there's where we write it out. We delete, copy, delete, that sort of thing. So that's what's going on here. Okay, so I think that's going to now fix it. Let's run one more time. We'll run the app one more time. Apply the cropping one more time. Oh, but I also want to delete the original files. Let's trust that this is going to work, and we'll delete the original files as well. Where are we getting all the images? They're all in these original, these are the original images right here. So complete crop, what's going on in complete crop? We remove the item from the list box. This is some UI stuff. I think right here, we want to take that creature. Before we do call complete crop, we want to delete the original files. Is what we want to do. This creature got inside of it. What's it using? Can we get some file IO stuff going on here? I guess we'd have to specifically. Let's do this. Let's kill the app a second. I want the code to be a little cleaner. So we're going to say, I want to say creature, delete source images. That's what I think I want to call. And then I want, basically I've got all these lists of images out here. I'm pretty sure that's what all of these are. So now I want to come in here and I want to say delete files. and pass it that list of elements there. There's stand. I can use Alt-Shift-Home to go back and forth between these two, like this. Just bringing these pieces in, coming down one at a time. Getting all of those pieces in there. Why not make it a single method call? JO Striker. Oh, I think it's... well, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What's the code look like to you? What are you thinking that's going to look like? I do it. This counts as a single method call right there, but I have all these different lists in here that are separate properties, and I want to individually delete all of those files in each of those lists. That's what I want to do. Does that make sense? Maybe I don't understand. I don't understand what you're thinking about, GeoStriker. Let me know what you're thinking of. So basically, I'm imagining this is going to be for each file name in file list. Then I'm going to do a try catch in case there's any problems, like the file's locked. Or I don't know what we might be encountering, and I'm going to say file dot delete and there's the path to it. I'm not getting oh, because I had the wrong. Okay, sorry. That break. My fault. All right, let me know what you're thinking on that. Okay, so there's my delete file. So this is the code I have here. Never mind. Okay. All right. No worries. There's a way we could do that, right? At some point, we could register all of these lists in one place, and then I could go iterate through that registered list. But the problem with that approach is it doesn't really save us any code unless we have to do something like this more than once, right? In other words, the code to register looks just the same as the code to delete the files, where I'm passing all those pieces in there. Yeah, so this is basically what happens. I'm just analyzing the files that are out there, and I'm breaking them into these different categories based on the numbers, based on I know the positions of all of them, and so I'm just populating these lists. Okay, so now I think we're going to delete those. Let's set a breakpoint here, and we'll run it. So this time we're expecting to see a folder here called skeleton. The skeleton archer will go inside of it, and we're expecting to see the files deleted from here. Okay, when we process them, we will then move them out of here. So the idea is this is a staging directory, a staging folder, where I will go into Adobe After Effects, grab an item, generate it, and then come over here and choose crop on it. So let's give it a shot. Let's try crop here. There's my button, crop, click. Just run it. And let's pull this out of the way. It's happening right behind my head. I don't know if I can drag this. I think there's no UI. There you go. Yeah, this is not responsive. I can't even drag it because it's like deep in the process, and I don't have anything that says, hey, any kind of we're going to wait for any events here? Let any window events come through? Make that a process inside of a thread. Yeah. You could definitely do that. Now, are we, oh, we're at a breakpoint. What's our breakpoint? Right anchor data. Okay, cool. We can clear that breakpoint. And now we're in the delete files part right here. I don't know. Let's just come in here and go through until we get to here. What's my file name? That looks like a valid file name. And we'll come in there, delete it. Looks good. Let's keep running. And it looks like that's it. So now we just got to make sure we got a folder here. Now it looks like there's nothing here, but let me hit refresh, F5. There it is right there. Okay. And now we've got everything in the right folder. We've got the pieces we want, and we want our map data to be able to use the folders inside of miniatures is what we want to be able to do. So I think that's our next step. And so I can come in and say, I want to put a skeleton on, and then it's going to grab like one of these. Maybe grab the one that's facing down towards us, like somewhere down here. That's the image it would grab to hold it as a placeholder. Now, when we're playing the game, the map engine in TypeScript is going to aim this. So if this guy says, I want to aim, you know, up above to the northeast, he's going to do the animation needed. If he's down here at this target and he goes for another target, he's going to go like that. So this guy will spin, and the monsters will always be facing the target they're going after, which I think is going to be a cool look as well. So that's what's going to happen there. And we're going to put him on top of a base. And the other, because we're separating the monster from the base, we'll be able to do cool effects on the base, like to indicate health, for example, to indicate a spell charge up, all those kinds of things. Okay, let's generate one more so we at least have two of these to work with. So let's see, where's my After Effects? There's After Effects right there. Bring up After Effects. Let's go into our monsters piece. We're going to take our skeleton archer and say no thanks. And we're going to take the character Merkin and say yes, please. We are going to generate this. We want this to be a PNG sequence as well. And what? Oh, two files we didn't delete. There are two files we didn't delete in our delete source images piece. These two, base image and anchor image. We need to delete those two. Okay, we'll do that. All right, so this, we're going to call the character's name, which is Merkin. Like that. Save that out. Render. So that's Merkin, that's my character, holds on to a, he's got a spell he's casting, or it could be like French fries too. Hard to tell the difference there. Now, if all this is working well, oh yeah, look at this. Creature skeleton archer is missing some images. So we get that error message right there. We need to delete those images. Wait, what has happened here? I'm not even getting previews for this. Let me hit a refresh. Okay, that's better. Let me delete these two remaining ones. What's happening? They're opening something? Monster Asset Builder says it's got it open. McMurkin, he's loving it. I'll get my coat. McMurkin of the fries, yeah. Isn't that awesome? Okay, it looks like we're keeping this open. And I'm not sure why. Okay, let's cancel for now. That. Let's take this and kill it for a second. What's curious to me is I just generated from here. I said the name should be, oh, but I'm in the wrong folder, I think. I'm in monsters. So I put that in the wrong folder. Is that right or no? Yeah, I did. I put it here. Yeah. All right. So let's delete that. Yes. Let's delete these two. And let's go into my delete. Let's take this, try catch, and extract it to just a single delete file. And then let's come down here and say delete file, base image, and anchor image, like that. Now let's run back over to Adobe After Effects one more time. So I'm in the right spot, right here. I want to call this Merkin. One more time, like that. Switch to PNG. That looks good to me right here. Before we were there. Not sure why. Let's render it. And now, are we in the right? We're going to see things show up here. F5, yep, there they are. So we can see them coming in. Let's, we're running in our monster asset builder. Let's bring it over here. And after it's done generating, let's go see how we're doing. We're still almost done generating. Now it's done. And there it is right there, showing up. Okay, so it's checked to make sure it has the right number of images. So we're going to choose crop on this. It's doing the falls. There are 8 of those. And as it's doing these, it should be creating them out here in a folder called Merkin. If I refresh. Huh. Oh yeah, there it is right there. Cool. We can see these starting to come out here. There it is right here. That guy looks like me a little bit. Sweet. Nice. Should be what you're looking for to get that task going like that. Yeah, that's good. You know, I am not a, every time I do multi-threaded stuff, ooh, we got an exception on Merkin 72. That's the one I think we're showing, and 73. Yeah, the same 2 files. So we got 2 exceptions on the 2 last ending files. Let's go back and let's see what's going on with that. I want to unload those. You don't even need a thread for that, I think. Just await that. Okay. I think I'm like I always, whenever I go into multi-threading stuff or await stuff, I'm always a little bit like nervous going in. So I'm like yeah. Also with this, I don't need to be able to drag this around while it's running, right? The fact that it's going, I'm totally fine with it just running as fast as it can. So I think in this case, I'm not going to do it, even though I agree that for a shipping app, we'd want to be able to drag it around and we want to be able to play in that space. And I want to move on to the other things. So while I think, yes, the idea has incredible merit, it would be a great thing to do in production. I'm gonna probably, you're probably not gonna see me write that code right now. Let's go figure out why the files are locked though. I do want to find that out. Let's look through those one more time. They're the last 2. Base image and anchor image. What's going on with base images? It's just a list of strings right there. More useful if you want to process many files in parallel. Yeah, I suppose. I suppose. We will, you know, that's also not something that I'm thinking I need to do. I think the lock is not happening here. I think the lock is happening in my image cropper. I think the base image, I'm not sure. Why is that? Hold on. That's the image of the base. The anchor image. Anchor margins. Oh yeah, it doesn't make sense why those two files are locked. GeoStriker says, I mean, I've done some not very complicated multi-threaded code, but in your case, I don't think you need to wrap the task factory in the thread. Yeah, no, I trust you. I trust you. I trust that your skill set is higher in that case. But I don't think you don't need to. Yeah. No, I get it. All right. Why is the base image locking up? Where am I setting the, let's look at this right here. This is a panel. There's my paint. I'm doing draw image, preview image. Where's my preview image? Image from file. Would that lock the file? That doesn't make sense that that would lock it. See what the internet has to say about that. That looks like WPF. This is GDI. Until I release the image. So all I got to do is release the image, it looks like.
Miller!
You got something too, Roy? Okay. Yeah, I think I can also just release the preview image on this, is what I can do. My preview image is right here. Before I delete the files, I'm going to try doing this because I want this to work. So I'm going to come in here and say, do I have Merkin available to work on? Nothing? Nope. All right. So let's recreate this. I think dispose. What do I do here? Dispose. Let's see if that fixes it. I want to nail this. I want that working. and then we'll set it to null after we dispose it, like that. I bet this, is that going to solve it? Wait, hold on. I think I also need this here. If not null, then preview image dot dispose. I don't know. What's interesting is why do I have two of these in here? Why do I have two images? Yeah, it's just referencing there and there. I don't understand why I'm having two files that are locked. That's the thing I don't understand. I would expect one, but not two. So we've got this now. I think this is going to prevent the lock problem from occurring. Right now we can verify we still have the lock problem. If we go into monsters and refresh, there it is right there. Those two images are still here. So we want to delete those. Let's run the program. Wait, let's also go over here in the miniatures. Let's delete these again. So we'll take our Merkin, delete all of those. Yes. And now come out to, let's run the program. There's the program running, waiting for data. Now I'm going to come out here in Adobe After Effects, and I'm going to, by the way, I imagine a future version of this is it just looks for the data and it just generates it automatically without asking. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So here we go, coming down in here again, we're going to make this a PNG file. Interesting, when I changed it to PNG, it then changed the folder to monsters/monsters. Not what I wanted to do. So I need to, although interesting here, that's exactly where I want it to be in the monsters folder. So we're going to change this to Merkin. Like that. Enter. Nope, it's still going to, oh no, wait, there we go. That's exactly what I want right there. Monsters. Is that right? Yeah. Let me double check that. Yeah, that's where I want to put it. And let's render it. So it's rendering. Meanwhile, this is waiting for changes. It's got a file system watcher. Every time there's a change, it waits for about 4 seconds to see if there's no other changes. Pudding. Yes, pudding. What pudding? It's in my nose, pudding. Pudding. Dude. All right, so that's generated. Creature Cropper. Creature Cropper doesn't see anything. Is it really in the wrong spot? Did you give me a subfolder? I bet it gave me a subfolder, even though I said I wanted to be in that folder. F5 to refresh. You look at that. Why? Okay, delete. What's going on, After Effects? That seems definitely not okay with me. Try one more time here. Generate. Specify the file name first. Let's try this order. That's where I want it to be. Call it Merkin. Enter. Now switch over here now to PNG. Now it looks good. Okay, so trust that even though when you click on it, it takes you to the other folder, that's not good. We don't want that. All right, render. Those are rendering. Creature Cropper is looking for the changes on disk to stop. And once they are, then it's going to reload. It's going to see I've got a whole bunch out there named Merkin. Looks like Roy Becker's coming in a second or two. Hold on. That was loud. Thanks, GeoStriker, for that. Pudding. I've got to drop volume on pudding as well. Okay. Let's switch over to our monster cropper. There's the Merkin one. We're now going to say crop, and now we're looking for the difference this time versus the last time is if the fix worked, we're now releasing the files, deleting all of them, cleaning up the data at the end. So that data is, I think, here when I refresh. So here's all these big 1920 by 1080 files. And we're going to delete these when we're done analyzing them. It's going pretty well, Pudding. Going pretty well. What's this? Rotating Merkin? Yeah, that's what it is. And there's the base. All right, and now if I refresh here, are they gone? They're all gone. Sweet. No exceptions. Everything's still running. And now if we go over here and do a refresh, now we've got a folder called Merkin. And inside of Merkin, we've got all the data we need to render and incorporate Merkin on the map. Specifically, we've got the base here. We've got this guy who's going to stand on that base and spin around. And we've got a file here called Merkin anchors.json. Starting a new instance of Visual Studio just to open it. I might be able to get this faster if we just open with Notepad here. There it is. All right. And it's just got, it's a JSON file with all of this data on terms of what the anchor points are for the different animations. And we've got stand, fall north, fall northeast, fall southeast, all of those animations, they're all here. They're labeled as, so here's fall north, frame 0, frame 1, frame 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there's 6 frames. Here comes my friend.
Hello.
Hey, Rory Becker, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying the visuals of the show so far.
Okay, cool.
The little bit I've managed to get. Hey, you're doing good, mate.
And look at this, I'm live coming out to you, not frozen.
Not frozen.
Yeah. All right, so not bad. Here's my character that's fallen down. It's behind the chat window. I can go move it over a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. There it is right there. There's my guy. Come on.
I must have missed the first part of this. You made the 3D model in the first place?
Yes, I did.
That's very good.
Well, wait. This model is based on another model. I sculpted on my beard and mustache,
Okay.
and I also took an effect from another model and pasted it in. So I'm like kind of doing crude, childlike collage to
Standing on the shoulders of giants. As
yeah,
it were.
exactly. Yeah. So basically, I'm a Patreon donor to a guy who's doing Dungeons and Dragons 3D models for printing. Right.
Fair enough.
So they're not painted. And so I take something that looks close to one of the characters I want, and I make some changes to it. But by and large, I'm just going to use it only for the monsters, because the monsters are, but I do want to make the characters look like the people who are playing it. So this is like
Sure.
my attempt at making that.
That's a very efficient way of doing it. That's good.
You know, that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to do things. I still think these look like French fries, though, from this angle. I'm like,
So Merkin walks up and bribes the nearest monster with French fries.
yeah, maybe I want to change this. I don't know, maybe not. I'm not sure. But when Karen saw this, my wife Karen, she's like, "Ooh, you're hot," and I'm like, "No, I'm right over here. That's not me on the computer. It's me over here." She's like, "Oh, yeah." So no, she may not have spoken that quite like that, but yeah. So I think it's gonna look cool. So now we've got 2 creatures inside of miniatures, and they're in 2 different folders here. So now the question is, how do we exploit that? Over in our D&D Map Spike, in our Dungeons and Dragons engine. That's kind of where we want to go. So let's kind of let's start working at the UI part of it, I think, first. I kind of got to hack that together. And I think I want to put a tab across the top of 2 different views. One for adding stamps and the other for adding characters and NPCs. That's kind of what I want to do. So let's look at the, we'll look at that. How's your day been so far today, Rory?
It's not bad. It's not bad. This is going to be, as we say, the highlight again.
I hope so.
But it's because it's such fun. We see very practical, genuine progress on this show, don't we?
Yeah, so far we have done that. wait a minute, this is WPF, right? This is WPF. The other app was not. The reason why is I actually started writing the other app, the Creature Cropper app. This started in WPF, and it was crazy slow. The image manipulation in WPF is safe and slow, and I needed like essentially unsafe and fast. I needed low-level image editing that was fast. So I rewrote it in GDI using GDI Plus system.drawing, and it was like 5 to 10 times faster. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to use. Oh, okay, cool. Geostriker's totally trying to help me out, help me get to a better spot with the threading. You know, I'm almost, you know, unhelpable. WinForms, I have no idea. It's a Geostriker. Yeah, I'm like, I've done it before in WinForms. I've done it in WPF, but every time I do it, I get scared. I get scared of bugs that are hard to find. I kind of almost over-engineer, right? Like one of the techniques that you need to do is you need to kind of have a lock, and you need to have an object that you're locking on. And so I'll make sure I'm only using this one object in this one lock. And if I have to lock something else somewhere else, even if it's in the same class, I'm going to use a different object to lock it. And I'm like, make sure, my anxiety gets so high when I do multi-threaded coding, because it's just like, I don't do it enough. And because I know all the things that go wrong with it, or I have a sense of the things that go wrong with it, I'm like panicked. I'm panicked for the most part when I go in there. And when we have to do it in CodeRush, I'm like, I make sure we have multiple devs working on it, right? Because I want pair programming all the way when we do stuff that I consider high risk, right? If you're going to write code that is going to maybe have some sort of, strange bug, like maybe a lockup bug that only happens, that's non-reproducible because it only happens when two different threads are working at the same time and they're trying to access something that's locked and there's a sequencing issue that is edge case, that's a bug that's expensive to fix. So that's why I'm so nervous about it. But I totally respect people who are not nervous about it. Somewhere in this space here on this grid, I want to throw a tab at this thing. I've got a tab control here for the stamps. I think I want, and it's that kind of here. Oh, look who's here. He's flying low. That's too low, Jetsam. Pull up. Get out of here, Jetsam. I'm trying to do a show. Come on, Jetsam.
He's in the house.
I wonder if we'll see Coding Gorilla today.
Ooh. Yeah.
Coding Gorilla probably doesn't even know that he's got a new fanfare.
Never mind. Eventually, one way or another.
Jetsam's asking, how is everybody? I think we're good. You know way more about C# than I do for sure, said Geostriker. Okay. Yeah, well, everybody's got, something that they have knowledge about.
True.
I got something. I got a little bit to offer, I think. All right, so this is my stack panel that holds all my stamps. I think I want to throw that inside of a tab control. That's what I want to do. So I'm just going to use selection increase. We do have CodeRush. Do I have an embed selection? Ooh, I do. Do I have a tab control here? Those sons of a guns on the CodeRush team. Hey, look out! Hey, I'm trying to do a show. All the builders. Everybody's coming in.
Jolly is in the house.
Like that. That's what you get, Michael. You come at me with your taco, with your arms crazy waving. This is what you're going to get, buddy. You're going to get some of this. Boom. Just like that, Michael.
He didn't bring enough tacos for everyone, you see, so...
Yeah. All right. Kids, if you know Coding Gorilla and you see Coding Gorilla hanging out on any other shows out there, for goodness sakes, let Coding Gorilla know he's got a new fanfare over here. We want to show that thing. Okay. Rory, can you send a note to me, an email? I don't want to record an issue on this. Just like tab control. Give me a tab control here. It's okay. I'm still going to use a feature. I'm going to put it in a stack panel, and I'm just going to use Visual Studio's ability to change it into a tab control. Come on, tab control, like that. So there's my tab control, and then I think I have to do a tab item here as well. So I probably need both of those, Rory.
Sorry, it was the second one.
Tab item, right? Isn't that what goes
Gotcha,
inside?
Yeah. So you grab
Yeah.
the tab control, and you got a tab item as well.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. So header. I thought the stream was dead.
There have been a couple of buffering moments.
I didn't see that. Right now I look good. I'm in the green right now.
Yeah.
Let me know, Roy, if you notice anything. Sorry about that, guys. Looks good now. Had to refresh. We had this problem the other day.
Since the start of the stream, I've noticed maybe 4, and it buffers for maybe 10 to 15 seconds at most. But it has come back for me each and every time without the refresh.
Okay. So I'm going to say here, call this stamps for this tab item. And let's use selection increase and jump to the end of it and create a new tab item. I wonder if I have a template TI for tab item. Look at that. Sweet. I don't really need a name on that, but I'm going to say my header here is going to be NPCs. Should that be it? Or characters? Characters, maybe? Like that. And then let's kind of look at what we got over here. What are we doing here? This grid row needs to move up. Rory.
Yes.
On your email.
The email, indeed.
If I embed an item,
Yep.
Attached properties, well, certainly grid attached properties like row and row span and column span. Yep. Those 4 need to move up to the embedded piece. So if I embed this once, it's got to come up to here. And if I embed that, in this has got to come up to here. You see what I'm saying?
You're embedding an item that already has references to attached properties.
Hold on.
And
hold on a second. I'm going to mark an issue here because I want to visually show this to people. Okay. All right. So I've started the issue here. All right, devs, pay careful attention. I'm here and I want to embed this inside of an item, right? Forget that these other two, the other 2 pieces are here. Sorry. Hold on. Let's get rid of this and get rid of that tab item and get rid of these down here and get rid of that. So if I'm here like this and I've got grid row is equal to 1 and I want to embed this in something like this, like, well, first of all, I want tab item and tab control to be here. But let's say I choose stack panel like that. Now, if we go to the top, the problem is this, that this no longer applies because it's embedded. We need to get this here. So any grid attached properties like row, column span, or row span, those properties need to move up to the outermost embedded, the embedding class. That's what needs to happen. What do we call that? Is that I'm not sure if I call that a feature. I'm going to give it a feature name for now. And I'm going to say attached props need to move to embedding declaration, I guess, in XAML. All right, there's my feature request. So we are, kids, we are dog fooding Code Rush every day here, almost every day it seems like, 4 days a week. Can you believe it, Rory?
I can. It's a very useful tool, and the best way to dog food it is to use it in a real world code set.
Yeah.
To experience, it in its fullest, really, and to find ways of improving it, which is what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Hold on a second. What's on the other side of tab control? Anything? It's not. It's all by itself in stack panel. Interesting. I almost don't need the stack panel here. What's going on with SP stamps? Am I using it? Okay. I'm setting the whole visibility to false. That's if I enter stamp mode. I said visibility to visible there. That's kind of weird. I'm not really playing with this anywhere else. Yeah, 4 days a week. I got a Friday show in now. That's what's happening.
This time next year, 8 days a week.
You never know. Woo! Pudding's like, I'm coming to get you on Friday. Don't think you're going to be pudding free on Friday, Miller. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling like that visibility thing, we're going to have a problem there. I think we have a problem with this SP stamps. It's kind of like, what? Yeah. I think the whole thing goes away is what I think. I almost think this goes to here. But what's weird about this, we only ever set its visibility to visible. It's like we're not doing anything there. And I've got inner select mode, inner stamp mode. I think what I want to do is,
do we use it as a reference point for finding things inside of it at all? Because if you're changing the thing that is named SP stamps,
no, I'm just hitting tab to next. I'm just hitting the tab key. It only shows up here.
It's just that, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't even get it. Oh, you can see up here I've got commented out stuff. Right there.
Okay.
So, yeah. I think I want to just get rid of it. Let's get rid of this for now. Or at the very least we'll call this tab control, stamps, and characters like that for now. And this tab control here is TBC stamps. Enable selection controls. So here we go. And this, I feel like we should change to that inside of the TBC stamps. Hold on a second. Item source is there. This one needs to change to that. So it's a tile tab control. If the stamps are visible, then so are the characters. Otherwise, we got the tile controls there for selecting what the floor is going to look like. Okay, build stamps UI. This is where we're going in and we're enumerating the directories. And I want to do this similar kind of thing for the building the character UI. So I want to grab build character UI. What's going on with my directories? Interesting. It's just, it almost doesn't even need to be out there as a field. Since it's an item source, I guess that's my thinking behind it. We're going to do this. So let's change this to stamp directories. Like that. Let's duplicate this and let's create a new one called character directories. Like that. And we want to, instead of TBC stamps, we want something similar. Yeah, this stack panel doesn't make sense here. I'm taking the stack panel out. For some reason, I thought I wanted something else in here. Maybe at one time, maybe I had something else at one time. Okay, so that's taken out. And I essentially want something very similar where I have a tab control item template where I'm going to grab the text from it, the content right here. We're going to have to do something slightly different though. Okay, so that tab control, let's do a selection increase on it. Copy to the clipboard. Come down here, paste it in, and change the name of it to TBC characters. And I think it's going to have just the same kind of, is that right? Am I going to do that? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe instead let's do a list box.
Feels like you're going through quite a number of prototypes in your head.
I am. I'm. The problem is, here's the challenge. I want it to be useful. I want to be able to essentially see all of the characters, right? All of the, and the problem is when I go through to find these, right? Each folder could hold one or more renders of it. Like I've got a skeleton in my skeleton folder, I've got a skeleton archer, but I could also have a skeleton warrior. Okay. And so I'm imagining the UI. I essentially want this one image for the skeleton archer. Like, let me see here. The image that I would get would be, it's down here near the bottom, like that one. I'd want one image for this guy to show up in my selector, and another one for the other companion skeleton. But I want all of those essentially, I think, to be siblings to the one image from the Merkin folder as well. So I think all I really want is a list box. So this image would be there too. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I think what I need is a list box. Unlike the tab control that was separating all of these individual image folders by tab, so I could click on a magic folder and choose all these different magic items, or I could click on a damage folder and choose all these cracks or other kinds of evidence. The main difference
between the two sort of conceptual ideas is that there are far fewer characters compared to stamps, for example. Stamps have a need for a hierarchy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right.
Characters, maybe not so much.
I'm having a new idea. I'm thinking about it, but my new idea, I know it's not fair. My new idea goes like this. Hold on, and I'm starting to like the idea. It goes like this. Wait. Oh, my new idea is getting better. So hold on. D&D races or monster? Maybe not races. Monster types. I forget what the real search term is. Here we go. Beast, aberration, celestial, construct.
Okay. So these are categories that might merit a folder at some point.
Yes. But you know what I think I want to do instead? I want to not put them in a folder. And instead, what I want to do is give them an attribute once I've imported the monster. Right? Be able to select.
Well, that's true, yeah.
What they are. In fact,
I was going to say, without that theory necessarily, you could potentially have folders, but then just flatten the folder structure, as an option. You could decide not to show it. So they exist in folders, but you've done select star dot standing 7.
Yeah.
And get the 7th image for everybody.
Yeah.
And then just stick those in a list initially.
Yeah. Or just type in like, some text and have it filter out all the monsters by that type. That's what I think I want to do. So I think I'm okay. I'm on track. But what I think definitely happens here is it is a list box inside of characters is what I think. It's not a tab control. It is, this is not here. The item source. See if I can do this. So I'm taking the data template out and I'm using it as an actual control. The binding is going to be to something I think I'm going to call characters. So we're going to assume that every monster is a character and stuff like that is what I think it is. And it's a button, and now we're going to create a new binding for it, new event handler, and tab to next reference, hit F2 to rename, and we're going to say character, add character, maybe BTN, add character, click, like that. Let's go back to where we were. And I think a lot of this is reusable. So basically I need to bind it to a list of things we're calling characters, and an individual item in that's got to have a file name. Property called file name. Right there. And I think that's going to work. Or, hold on, binding to characters. So we got to, at some point we got to bind it. What we need to do, and we need to add it. I might bind this manually is what I think I'm going to do instead. And I'll give it a name here. So XN template will expand out and get me here. And so I'm going to say LB characters, like this. That's what I think I'm going to do. Okay. So there's that step. Okay. Let's just run. Just make sure we haven't, everything's still working like we're expecting. Oh wait, let's stop my run a second. I want to start up with, we're going to be able to, since we're testing, I want to start up loading up the small file instead of the large file. Thought I stopped the app. There we go. Okay, characters, nice. So the 400 it gets is from this size here. It doesn't get this extra bit here. So I'm going to
hiding the great. Oh, there we go. Great UI flashes up over the top of most of the UI you've been dealing with.
How's that? Thanks, buddy. This is why you're perfect. All right, so we need to go. I want to change that size to probably in here. So probably about like say 480. And this one 480, like that. Let's come back over here. Better.
That's much nicer.
Yeah, it looks like I like totally nailed that estimation of that being 80 pixels.
Otherwise, it's UI dancing away from you.
Yeah.
You know, it's anything but helpful.
No, you're right. Okay, cool. So good. Now we need to populate it. Let's stop everything for a second. Let's load up. Let's go look where we're building the other UI. I feel like it was close to here.
So when you build your series of images from your 3D models, are the models always facing the same way to start with?
Yes.
And you have the same number of images per model?
Oh, yeah.
So for any given numeric, all the models will be facing the same way?
Exactly.
Very
it's
nice.
Brilliant, right? Yeah, and it's a fair amount of thought has been given to being able to make this incredibly fast, so that I don't have to do really anything, right? Other than come in, load something up, hit render, and then.
I have often been heard to suggest. Somebody asked me once, what's a good quality in a programmer? And I said, well, I don't know what makes a good programmer necessarily, but I do know that the ones that seem to put an inordinate amount of effort into being lazy. So the idea is that I'm going to put all this effort in up front so that later on I'm going to save myself some time. And that's broadly how I got started myself. You know, it's like, oh, the computer can repeat things for me? Fantastic. Now make sure that it does it right.
Yeah, no, I totally.
Those repetitions are good.
I'm totally with you on that. I just want to get some of these coins up here. They're incredibly valuable. I don't know if you know that or not.
Oh yeah. All the power with the coins.
That up 0.4 didn't seem to work. Did that work or no? Up 0.4. There we go.
No exclamation.
Yeah, I don't need it once I've got if I'm flying a drone, I don't need it.
See, I think I've just got into the habit of using it anyway. Muscle memory.
There we go. All right. Boom. Okay. So yeah. All right. Let's go back over here. I want to enumerate a different folder. I want to do that. So let's kind of look at the analysis of what is that going to be looking like here. That's the folder I want to enumerate. So are we running? We're not running. So I'm going to create a concept that's of type string. So QS is my shortcut for doing that. We're going to call this the character folder, I think is what we're going to call it. And there it is. I want to see if stamps path is used anywhere else. Is it only used in these two places? It is. So let me just cut this and bring this in and make it local. It's even a public constant. It's interesting. Okay. So I want to keep it the word folder there. All right. And then we want to go through all of these. And this is adding a stamp folder. What's the stamp folder doing? Okay, we're going to do something similar to this. I'm going to create something called character folder. By the way, yesterday, at the start of the stream, somebody was taunting me out there. I was like, wait, they were like, hey kid, what are you doing? And
I saw that.
And I
was wondering about that.
And I started engaging with them. And then they're like, when are you going to kill yourself? Soon, I hope, or something like that. And I was like, you know, distracted by it slightly. I was like, oh, okay. You know, I thought about it for while I was coding, so it was like a little bit like of a disruption. But then after the show, I came up with what I thought was the funniest response. And the response, I'm gonna
of the stick.
Yeah, no, I don't know. This is going to be, you know, it's, you know, I should say, suicide is, you know, almost off limits for, you know, for telling jokes and things like that, because, you know, it's such a serious thing. And, you know, I think that, well, I don't know. I have two different perspectives on it. Look, you know, my grandmother wanted to, and this music, by the way, totally doesn't match the theme of what we're talking about.
It really does.
But we'll turn it around in a second. But my grandmother was healthy, but without her husband for, I want to say, almost a decade. And every time she went to the doctor, he said, "You're in wonderful health," and she would just be so depressed because there was no point. She'd been married to her husband for 65 years, right? A lot of people don't live 65 years, and so she had a partner in life for 65 years. My grandfather was a great guy, just a really nice, great guy, and so she was always sad. And so one of my perspectives is, hey, if you want to check out, by all means. But I think you want to check out in a way that doesn't disrupt the lives of everybody behind, right? And I think that's one of the things. A lot of times people are so troubled that they don't give that a lot of consideration, and or whatever, it doesn't matter. Or they, you know, you've always, you know, one of the stereotypes is, I'll show everyone. You know what I mean? They show, they say I'm not important, whatever. So, look, I get it's a total serious subject. But the subject was broached yesterday on the stream, and I thought, oh, So now I'm about to get into outrageous. So if I offend you, my deepest apologies, because I think I'm about to do it. But I'm ready for it now. If it comes in again, I'm going to be like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to do it right now. Take myself right now, and I'm going to use this weapon. And I'm just gonna. Oops. Oh, hold on. That's not going to work if I got Fred's on. Hold on. I'm going to go like this. Hold on. It's going to be like, oh. See, I got to practice like this, like that. Oh. And then. How's this feeling so far, Roy? Am I totally outrageous? Am I offending people? And then I'm like this, and then like this happens. Oh, I'm back. Okay, good. All right.
See, we could choose to take the. I've only just thought of this, but we could choose to take the approach, the assumption that the strange individual who was making such suggestions was only after seeing some colourful effects.
Yes. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do it next time.
Clearly the most positive way of looking at it.
That's why you're here, Rory. Every day I could get myself in trouble on this show. Fridays are the bad days. You're not here, and I'm getting myself in trouble like crazy. Okay, so let's look at this. I just thought of also something we could do, because at first I was thinking, well, because here's what we have to do. We got a couple challenges. How do we quickly go through and specifically find only the ones we want? And it just occurred to me, ooh, we can do a cool little filter. The one we want, the one picture we want is always...
You're picking 7 before. 7th item. You seem to have a knack of going for the 7th one.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
It's just got an index of 7, so you've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you
there it is right there.
The
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking for anything that ends in _stand7.png. That's going to be my awesome filter. Because now I can just skip everything, and then now I can find my skeleton archer, my skeleton warrior, whatever I want, as well as just my normal skeleton, right? That's what's going to nail it. So watch this. This is going to be so sweet and awesome. So now I'm looking for all files in that particular folder that match it. Whatever I find, I'm going to do essentially the same thing. I'm going to create a stamp. I'm probably going to want to change this right here. And I think I'd have to rename this to characters, because I think that's what I used in my XAML. Did I? No, I didn't have a template. No, file name. File name is, okay, but file name is part of stamp. Hold on. Stamp has got a file name property in it. Somewhere in here. I promise you there's a file name somewhere here.
I've seen references to it already.
Yeah, I think it's up in the ancestor class. I think it's up in maybe base stamp or base stamp properties. We were just working with this yesterday. I think it's in base stamp properties file name. Up here. Search for file name. There it is right there. Okay, so I think which of these will I also need for the character? And I think I'm going to need to move stuff out. Hold on. Let's create a new abstract class here. This is going to be a called base item properties. And that's going to be the ancestor for both base stamp properties and base character properties, or character maybe. These item properties like this. Sorry, I wanted this to be an abstract class. And let's start moving stuff up. Let's, I wonder if we can do pull up to member on these as we get to them. Visible. Yeah, I think we need that. That's used when I click and drag the item. Pull member up. Sweet. Pop it there. Escape to get back. Pull member up. Okay, hold on. I'm going to record a Coder's issue here, because I'm pretty sure we got it. A Coder's issue. All right, kids, look at this. I'm using pull member up. I'm going to do it a whole bunch of times. I guess 2 things. Feature request. It would be nice if I could just come in, grab, the pieces I want, hit the Coder's key since I got multiple declarations, pull all the members up. But I don't have this. So instead, let's watch what happens. I hit the Coder's key. Now, I've already used it twice in a row, I think. Is that right? I think I've pulled 2 properties up. No, just one. I've used it once. Okay, so I've used it once. I come in here, hit the code rush key. Look at this, it's 3 away. I gotta go hit 1, 2, pull member up. All right, fine, hit enter, fine. Hit escape to get back. Hit the code rush key. Why isn't pull member up number 1 right now? I've used it twice in a row. It should be like, you know what? I got you, but no, I still have to go down too. All right, let's see how much more I have to do, because you know what I like doing? Oh, look at that. It did move up 1, but I don't want to actually pull this member up. I want to come down to here, grab height and width. I think, is that fair? Yeah, I think that is. Pull member up. Is that fair to say that I want to grab these up? I'm going to try them anyway. There. Come back down. Pull member up. It's still not number 1. Come back down. And I think those are all the things I want to pull up. I'm going to keep pulling things up, though, until I see it's down 2. Right? I'm going to undo these in a second. But look at this, down 2. Come on, guys. I want this working really well. Yeah. And it's not. It should totally know, hey, you know what, Mark? I'm going to help you out. It should be the first one I've got right there. Pull member up. I think that was number 2 down right there. Now it's 3. Yeah, I don't know why convert to property with backing field is above pull member up. Is it because overall I've used it more? It doesn't matter if that's the case. The fact that right now I'm using it so many times in a row needs to have a higher weight, so it is the number 1 item on the list. All right, I'm going to undo all of these. That's the issue, kids. All right, let me mark the end of that issue. Pull member up. Roy, you want to tell them what we're doing on the show?
On this show today,
dog fooding. Dog fooding is what I'm referring to.
Yeah. We are essentially dog fooding CodeRush. Okay, so we're using CodeRush, a fantastic IDE tool, productivity tool, to aid us in the creation of many, many things. So basically, we get through the code, we encounter real-world situations, and like Mark just has, we discover things would be better, life would be more complete with an extra feature or with maybe an enhanced feature that we already have, and therefore we can record in the moment. We sort of set the timer going. It calculates not just where we are in our current recording of a video, but backdates it a little bit so that when we get the issues sent through, automatic email to the devs, including logs and everything else, it'll give them a link to the video, to the specific point in the video where Mark will explain precisely what the issue might be. And so it's a really quick way of feeding back to the devs regarding the future direction of the product.
Thanks, Rory. I know I've said this before, but you're the best.
I've just been looking through the options for CodeRush in the general direction of the what used to be called the Smart menu or Smart Tag menu. We have options for grouping grouping CodeRush items together. We have options for deliberately sorting them by frequency of use, and as you say, that is having an effect. It's just not having quite the level of effect that you're hoping for. I wonder whether we did used to have a facility. I think the idea was the frequency of use, but not just the frequency of use so much as the frequency of use in a given situation. So you have maybe got potentially subtly different situations here. So maybe it's being counted differently as a member which is abstract versus a member which is virtual. And thus, although the abstract members are getting used to the idea of being pulled up, the virtual ones have not yet reached a count so high as that. It's a complete guess, but maybe that's the reasoning.
Where are you? What options page are you on, Rory?
I've closed it down again. Hang on one moment. Code Actions menu. It's from editor, all languages, Code Actions. Yeah, those are the settings I had as well. So the second last one is the one that says it should sort them by frequency of use.
Yeah. Let me log that as well. All right. I'm going to call this a map character. Descends from base item properties is what it's going to do. put this in its own move type to file. Base item properties. Let's move type to file. All right. So now we've got our map character. Was it in base stamp is where we were? Where were we? Stamp. Let's go find it from here. It was in this space right here. It was stamp folder. And we've got something new called character folder. And the character is going to have a list of, not stamps, but a list of map characters. Like that. And then we're going to add a new map character. Why am I not seeing my map character? That doesn't make sense to me. It's in map core. Is it just, am I missing a reference to map core? What's wrong?
Maybe. Although that's its own issue.
Height and width. Maybe I'm not going to mess with those. I'm going to take them down. Am I or not? I could have large creatures, so it's not always going to be the same. All right, I'm going to implement them here, but just as regular properties for now. Okay, like that. Now we good? Come on.
Yeah, should be. Did we, well, should be good here.
Do I need to override these? That's my problem. That's my problem. Okay, now everybody's happy. Holy cow. So there's that. Let's go back to where we were. Stamp folder needs map core. I'm going to move this to its own file anyway. Let's move it and then we'll add map core to this. There we go. And then map character, we'll give that a constructor that takes a file. Maybe a secondary constructor. Like that. Okay, so now we've got our map character being created. We're going to get all of the files from a particular folder. We're going to add those. Hold on. No, I don't think I want to quite do this yet. I want to do something different because this is still going to give me lots of little folders, and I don't think I want that. Instead, what I want is I think I want to make this a static class, and let's rename it to character finder. Like this. Let's come down here and say this is static, and it's going to return a void, and it's going to be find characters like this. It's going to get a path, and it's going to take in a something like this, like that. And we're going to get rid of these two.
It's kind of a file cacher, isn't it? Because what you're getting is a snapshot of the file system at the moment you do this, which is quite useful.
Yeah. So now what I want to do is I want to go get into use my character finder. I want to use that call. Whoa. Okay. Just had a bump on my desk. Let's see here. We want to go back over here. And I want to come in and I want to say find characters, pass in the directory, and then pass in my list of characters. Like this. And do I have the ability to declare this? Perf issue, roll back about a second. I just wrote something in the code. And to make this easier for you kids, so you can reproduce, I was here. Let me save all. Let's go check in the code. Sometimes we'd stop to do this to report because I want the devs to have all the code, all the logs, everything. I find this is like one of the best ways. Are you really cleaning up my desk?
I'm dusting the bed.
Oh no! Oh baby, don't, you can't do it. This cord, you just killed me. This cord, now look, come look at the screen. This cord is so sensitive.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, hold on. Sorry about that, kids. My wife was lovingly, there's me from the side. Here we go, I'm back. Woo! Jetsam. Where the heck is Coding Gorilla? Come on, Coding Gorilla.
We want Gorilla.
All right, so what do we got here? I'm going to check all this in progress. Notice perf issue. Stream keeps cutting out too. Oh no, I've got 0 KBS. Can you hear me, Roy?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, we're totally at 0 upload speed.
Oh, the stream is not doing. Yeah.
Type in 1 second to everybody on the. I'm going to stop and restart it. Oh no, wait! It just restarted on its own. Wow.
Oh yeah, we're back. Oh, and maybe not so much.
Really?
And we're back again.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh! Look who's here! Look who's here! That was some good code coming by. Did you see that, Rory?
I did.
That's Coding Gorilla, kids. I told you it was going to happen one day, Coding Gorilla.
Wait for you, man.
So glad you're here. I was like, what the biggest tragedy in the world if Coding Gorilla was just like decided to walk the world in sadness because he never got his fanfare. And
Yeah.
and I walked the world in sadness too because Coding Gorilla never saw it. It'd be just the saddest thing. But you saw it. Good. And the stream will kick back in just in time for that. Yeah, I noticed over here we were at 0 kilobits per second upload. I have no idea what's going on with that. Noticed perf issue here. That's what we're doing. I'm going to check all of this in. And push changes immediately. Commit. I want to come up and add a tag. Here's my tag. We're going to say perf issue in CodeRush. I can't do any spaces in my tags. Push the tag, go. There's the tag being added. Woo! Look who's here, kids. It's Codebase Alpha. These are my dance moves. Went to the Mark Miller School of Dance too. What do we got here? I'm looking for Mr. Announcer Bot. Where is that folder? Why isn't it loading up? I'm hitting the button. Really? Where are you? You've got to be somewhere. There it is right there. Okay. So here we are. Perf issue in CodeRush. There it is right there. Copy link address. I'm going to pop that into chat room. Rory, I'll give it to you as well, I think. Or you can grab it from the chat room.
I can.
Devs, take a look at that. That was the issue. Basically, again, to reiterate, the code is exactly as it is right here. Just checked in. You've got the link to it. I came in here and I typed in, what did I type in? Characters? Doesn't exist yet. Characters, hit escape, hit the CodeRush key. Just waiting, gathering suggestions, waiting. Come on. Okay. I want that up much faster. So look at the logs, figure out what's going on. In case you didn't hear, kids, these next 3 sprints, our team is focusing on perf issues like crazy. Anything that we find that's taken too long, I'm documenting it here on the show, and that's what we're doing. What's this thingy for? What thing are you talking about?
Any particular thingy?
Okay, I don't know what Pudding's found over there, but I don't know. Open your
Pudding?
I don't know, whatever it is. Maybe it's Pudding. Let us know. Maybe no pictures though. We gotta. Not sure we want to see it.
Family show. Just be
Family show. Be careful, sir. It's safe for work.
careful.
Okay.
Oh, it's safe for work.
Okay. Let's declare a new local. Okay, that's what I want to do. I just want to get there fast. Declare local. There's my list. Actually, I want it up here. Okay, there's my characters. Find characters. Character directories. I don't think I want to add this. I don't need this anymore. Character directories. I don't need this. I contend no. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. Then, but I do need item source set equal to characters here. That's what I need. That
Mark, did
might
you
work.
Close off the perf report, or are we still?
Thought I did.
Just
Let's go
wondering
back.
if this is the longest report that they'll have received so far.
You're right. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Well,
You're
most entertaining report.
Oh, you want to open the perf issue in Code Rush. Oh, you want to open the perf issue in Code Rush code I just put up there. You can do that. You get to open that. That's all yours. Yeah, let's close that issue. Sorry about that. The show is so much better. All right, there's the perf issue. And we're going to gathering suggestions. By the way, kids, my machine is incredibly fast. So I should never see issues like that. I don't care if it's Visual Studio or us or whatever. I want to be able... There you go. Everything explodes on the show. I totally want something to explode. Uh-oh, Pudding says, it's been too late for that. Pudding's causing trouble again. Pudding's causing trouble. Codebase Alpha, you missed coding.
Genisco 7, where are you? We need your help.
Genisco 7. That guy.
Alright.
That guy's not good. Troublemaker. Good job, Genisco 7.
I am.
Get out of here, Genisco 7. Go. Here to save us all. There you go. Okay, so build character UI is here. Let's call it. I have a feeling we might actually see something, right? I think we got to, if we haven't made like, some sort of gross act of negligence, we might actually see something. Let's try it. Let's just run it. See if we see it. I would expect to see 2 images in it. One for Merkin and one for the skeleton.
Are we searching recursively, do you know? Down through holes?
No, I'm not. But I don't want to. I'm only going to have 1 level deep. So in other words, inside miniatures, I'm going to have all the folders for all the monsters. And it's going to be my monster type name is what's going to happen. So, or player name is what's going to happen. So here we go. Let's see what we got. Well, we got something different or no? No, this is not good. What? Wait, that's stamps. Stamps is messed up.
We broke stamps.
Rory, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. But I think it's time. See this? Oh!
Oh,
Ah!
don't do it, Mark.
Sorry, guys. I wasn't good enough. I was not good enough. Oh! Jeez. I'm not feeling good. I need some help. Let's get some health in here. There we go. Woo! Woo! You're hitting yourself with a remote. It's a long story.
It's quite involved.
It's a long story. You got to see the earlier part of the show.
Yeah.
But I'm hitting myself with a remote because I broke the product. I broke stamps somehow.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that happened. Stamps now has...
I mean, we were messing with...
Oh, wait.
moving
I
some
think
stuff
I know
to
what I
access the
did.
class.
I think I know what I did. I think I got it. It's that. That's how I broke stamps. I'm using the wrong item source.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. One of my favorite lines from a book is, "That'll do, pig. That'll do." All right.
Stamps is working perfectly. It just gets butchered by characters shortly afterwards.
I'm going to do this instead. Let's try that here. See if that works. This should at least recover stamps. Starting up. All right. Here we go. There we go. Stamps are back.
There we go.
Ha! Look at characters are back.
And characters as well. Woohoo! That is success, my friend.
I wonder if I can actually
Doesn't
drop
that
one
look
of these.
nice?
Can I drop it? No.
That seems a
Oh,
stretch.
you know what? I have no code here. Nothing's happening here. But we can maybe add it. Boom. Okay, what do we do in the others? Let's go tab to next reference because that's going to get us close to this. And let's tab to next reference there. What do we got? I think we're going to do something like that.
Okay.
Can I reuse the active stamp canvas? That's what's used to follow the mouse around to show the image. I think I can. I think I can reuse that.
Okay. Good.
We're going to have a problem here on the tag. We're not going to get past that. Let's just kind of play with this. Whoa, it is a stamp, the button tag? Oh, if not. Sorry, if not. A cool thing is the tag is a map character. I don't remember writing that code, but something must have made that all work. And then we're going to say this, call this character. Like this. Now we've got all kinds of problems.
Did we declare a character that was not local, or sorry, a field? Can't remember.
No, this is already with floating stamp, but it's taking an iStamp properties. But I actually don't want an iStamp properties here. I want to take those properties I moved up and create something called item properties, like this.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it work, Rory. Don't get mad.
Me? No.
It's gonna work.
I have faith, my friend. I believe in
I will
you.
push this. I will fight my way through this. I need to get left and top. It looks like I needed that. Maybe I need all of these.
Well, they're going to be things that exist in place. They'll have height and width and left and top and bottom. Whether you need them, that's interesting.
So this is kind of my thought. I know I need like file name X and Y in here is what I need. Let's go find file name. Let's at least take file name X and Y up there.
File name line 46, top of the screen nearly.
Yeah, the problem is I'm gonna have to grab more stuff and bring it over. Is the problem? So
Can you do multi-select and then?
no,
cut it all
I'm
at the
sorry.
same time?
That's not my problem. What I'm saying is, wait, what's going on here? I thought I've killed the debug session. I thought I hit stop. I've stopped it. We're just taking a long time to update this. That's not my fault. That's not my perf problem. Really? Come on. There we go. I just deleted and reinserted it. Visual Studio's like, okay, I gotcha. All right. So item properties is now kind of this. I'm playing with this because now over in my character, my map character, that's what I'm looking for. Base item properties, that's what I'm looking for. You can now implement item properties. Is what you can do. And now that means over here, I should be able to do this. And then what do we have? Active stamp. Uh-oh, may have trouble. What does active stamp need? Active stamp needs file name. And that's it. Okay, that's not too bad. There's like ripple effects all over the place, is what I'm anticipating. The question is height and width. Do we need to put those in as well? And also get left and get right, because I think I saw a problem with get left and get right being called. Let's go back to where we were. We were down at the bottom here. Create floating. Oh, it's in. All right, let's go find create floating. Where is it implemented? In stamp. There's file name reference. Scale. Uh-oh. We're not going to allow scaling on this or rotation or any of these. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go out into map character and give it a create floating. Like that. Uh-oh. Where's my canvas? Oh, this is a static right here. So we'll add a reference to there. Good. Create floating. Oh shoot, this is down in the core. I don't think I want it in the core. Where else is it referenced? Up, above, higher, that's okay. Higher, that's okay, that's okay. All right, so let's go find map core. We want this out of here. Map character, I mean, sorry. Let's go find the core and we're gonna move it up. Right here. Bring this up here.
C# Fritz raiding with a party of 74.
Really?
Wow.
That's
Welcome everybody.
That is just like you, C# Fritz. Totally typical. Typical C# Fritz. C# Fritz is out here. Did the test blood work, by the way? I didn't see. Did Janisco 7's test blood work?
I did not see.
Is that working? I'm going to, in honor of C# Fritz and all of his 74 awesome followers, we're going to give you this. Dude, you haven't been here in a while.
True.
You want to see some cool fanfares that you haven't seen, Jeff Fritz and followers? We would make fanfares on the show, like the one you just saw, for folks who hang out in our chat room and hang out. I'll show you a couple new ones I think you may not have seen. Have you seen Groversaurus? Yeah, I don't think I showed you this. Yeah, you were from Stockholm. Here we go. We're going to show you a couple of these. Groversaurus is coming out here. I love trash. No! Why does that always happen when Groversaurus comes? That's Groversaurus. I don't know. Have we showed you a Pyrocat you may have seen, but I don't think everybody who's here has seen Pyrocat. Let's show Pyrocats again. That's kind of fun. Pyrocat! Look out! Whoa! Boom! Isn't that amazing? Yeah, here's a brand new one, Coding Gorilla, came out yesterday. Here's Coding Gorillas. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. AJ says
some Michael Bay type of stuff.
That's right.
Absolutely.
By the way, the voice you're hearing is my partner on the show, co-host Rory Becker, live from the UK, coming in. He's with us Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, always making the show better. I'm by myself on Fridays. Oh no! We'll see what happens.
Totally off the rails on a Friday.
Yeah, kids. We are doing Dungeons and Dragons special
Leave it,
effects,
love nuts.
including stat scrolls like this right here. You can see the stat scrolls there. Fred is over here with us as well. Fred is digitally puppeteered. Fred says, good, he's with us. Fred, what should I show next, buddy? What if I show some weapons right here? So when it's Fred's turn, for example, he can say, all right, he's going to do like a Wild Surge Rage, which is the dice come out, special effects on the dice. All of this we built on the show. Gives him some special effects there, like that. Here's some static on that. It's like he can come in and he can use his great axe, do a weapon attack, do the roll that attack. Here comes the dice, damage dice type. It's slashing dice. See what he rolls. It's an 11.
And look at all that damage.
The other thing we do that's kind of cool is we have spell effects. So I can do the Ray of Frost of the spell, for example. There's the dice going away. There's the Ray of Frost. We're doing calculated damage based on the level I'm casting the spell at or the level that I'm at. You can see the effects over there. And the cool thing is, notice the 3D effect is going around me like that. I cast the spell. I'm going to roll the attack on that. And there's the roll with the frost damage coming in. Roll is complete. Looks like that was a miss. That's sad. When I'm hit, by the way, or when somebody is hit, we'll go ahead and do me. If I'm hit by some damage, boom! Oh, that hurt. Fred protects himself like that if the damage sprays his direction, like that. Look out, Fred. Yeah, and what else? If I'm healed, another cool 3D effect we built on the show. Look at that, spinning around me. So that's kind of what we're doing here, kids. We are building in C# and TypeScript special effects for a show that we're going to go put on Twitch on another channel. That channel is Twitch, if you're interested in Dungeons and Dragons. It's Comedy Dungeons and Dragons is what it is. And we are gearing ready to go live, have not gone live yet, but you can follow that over there if you choose to. And we're going to go live, I think, in about 3 weeks. So using the special effects that we've built from this show. Let's go ahead and, let's do one more thing. We'll do a wild magic check, because we were talking about this before. Every time I cast a spell, because of my character's abilities, I do a wild magic check. And each time I check, an additional dice comes out. And if I roll a 1, crazy things happen. So we're good there. Let's pretend I cast another spell. Roll again. I now got 3 dice coming out here. I'm going to force it, Rory. I'm going to keep rolling. Yeah. Here we go. Coming out. Looking for a 1. Nope. Clear those dice.
Of course, with each and every time an extra dice comes out, it's just inevitable. Eventually, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. There's a 1.
There's a 1.
Oh,
it's got the
almost
nuts.
a second one over there too. Nope.
3 close ones on that.
Yeah, kind of cool. It's just too random. That's right.
How you know we're not cheating?
No. It's fun. All right, we will just we'll let the gods decide that for us. We're gonna go ahead and hide the scrolls, get out of there, and so let's tell you a little bit about what we're doing now. We're creating
It's all stuff that we've built, isn't it? So we're continuing that journey, and we've got ourselves a dungeon editor of sorts, which is allowing us to initially generate a dungeon, but also then to sort of paint it with tiles and stamps and tables and chairs. And now we're moving on to the character side of things. So Mark's built himself a whole bunch of 3D characters, which have then been rendered out to individual frames of animation. And we've decided that the 7th frame of animation represents a good point of view of said character, and we're now creating ourselves a palette of those characters using that particular image of each one, so that we can then draw those characters onto the same map. And so this is where you find us. We're refactoring a little bit of our code so that some of the stuff that worked for stamps, i.e. placeable items, will help us place characters as well.
Yeah, and we're actually right in the middle of refactoring this. I'm looking for a get top implementation. There it is right there. And we're adding the characters to it right now. And so I wanted to get there's my get left, my get top. I want to go take both of these and move these up into item properties up here, my interface. And let's do that. Trying to get this to compile. We just made this change moments ago. And let's see if we get a build this time. Oops, I need a semicolon there and there. Building. What do we got? Get top, character. Why doesn't character have a get top or get left? I don't understand that. What did I miss? Oops, that's not what I wanted to hit. All right. Base item properties. Did I not make those public? I'm really confused here. Wait, did the errors go away?
Really?
Yeah, errors went away. Hold on, what do I have here? Create floating. Oh, we were in the middle of this. Okay, hold on. We need new bitmap image. We moved this. Hold on, we did two things. We just had done these. This is going to be the D&D Map spike is the name of this. We just moved this up. And then we need to use map core. Like that. Good, better, better. We want
so if I remember rightly, MapCore is the level of our system that has sort of a more abstract view of things. It doesn't understand that we're using WPF for any of this stuff, so we're not allowed to use a canvas or UI controls, but we are allowed to track stats.
Yes. I'm getting rid of all of this transform stuff. We don't need any of the transform for the characters we're adding on. The other transforms were there so that we could drop like a couch or a table or a bar or a set of weapons and rotate them, spin them around or scale them.
Sure.
For characters, we're going to have just a single size for adding them to the map. So we don't need that. We don't need that. Opacity is fine for the floating. Is hit test visible is false. This we can kill. There's that. All right, sweet. Let's build now. How are we doing now?
This should certainly work a lot better.
I hope so. Sweet. Succeeded.
There we go.
All right. By the way, kids, if you're into design patterns, the last, I want to say 9 shows, we went deep into design patterns, like the composite design pattern, the command design pattern, the flyweight design pattern, and we wrote some great code. In fact, that code is here in the map editor. Right now, I've got a super small room in here, but take a look at the UI. There's a couple things that are kind of what I would argue is revolutionary about this. From the standpoint of UI, the elements I want to change it are all around the outside. Here, let me get the floor here, something a little more, you know, even though I've got a small map here, let's make the floor a little more interesting here. What do I want? Fine. So we'll just do that as the floor for now. I'll change this up here as well, like this. So here's the floor, right? We've got these photorealistic maps coming in. We've got items that we can drop down on it. These actually, I don't think, I'm going to delete these. Let's go to what looks good on the ground. Well, I could grab some stones from the earth category over here. Let's grab some stones. Let's drop down the size, pop those in there. We can adjust the lighting on these. So check this out, right? This is all stuff we've also built on this show. Increase the contrast like that, right? So it finally looks like it's there. Even switch the hue a bit, right? So it looks like it's more a rock in this particular area, like that. So we've got that there. What else do I have that's kind of interesting in here? got holes and kinds of other things like this. I don't know, get some rocks and scatter them on the ground as well. So check it out. These rocks need to put them back behind, but I can change the Z order of items like this. Mess with the hue, saturation, lightness, contrast of items as I put them down. Let's put a. I don't think I want death in here. I have graves. Let's do this. Let's put a gravestone down here as well. So we'll just drop a gravestone down in there. So now we've kind of created here. Copybeard, says, you're rocking a Wicked Blue Ninja. Wicked Blue Ninja is with us as well. I want to create a fanfare for Wicked Blue Ninja, by the way, because the name is compelling. So we can kind of drop these things down here. That's kind of what we're doing here and manipulating them. The things that's cool about this UI, just from a UI standpoint, is if I want to center these, the center button is right up above. If I want to vertically center them. If I want to horizontally center them, it's over here, right along the lines where you would want to horizontally center them. I can flip these as well. So I can flip them left and right like this, or I can come in and group them together as a single item. And now when I come in and I flip them, it'll flip the whole group left and right like this. Yep. I can come in and rotate as well, 90 degrees like this, put them in, get them in another location if I want to do that. Do the flipping so the shadowing is going in the direction I want it to be, that sort of thing. So kind of cool what we've got. The other thing that's killer about this is I'm going to hit undo now. Watch this. Undo, 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 and I can work my way all the way back like this, all the way back to the beginning. We also added a custom property editor. The property editor is driven by attributes on the declaration. So this, all the UI you're seeing is coming from, what is it? Base stamp properties, I think. It's coming from this attribute showing up on a property. So here's a property called collectible. Here's a property called name. And now if we come over here, there's name and there's collectible. And guess what? Hello? Like this, collectible. Let's click it lock. Let's lock it as well. Oh, that's super interesting.
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
I haven't seen that before. Why is it changing the order when I lock it? It's really weird and interesting. That's super weird. And I can set these values here. 22 min strength to move. Change the enum values for cover. Look at this. Again, we haven't seen this before. But now watch this. When I do Control Z to undo, look at this. Even the properties are contributing to undo. That's because we implemented the command design pattern. So I'm actually thinking, by the way, Roy, of creating a workshop, a design pattern workshop, where we come in and we go after one or two design patterns in a day in depth. And we show what it's like to create a professional level application that implements those design patterns. Because there are aspects of this UI, and by the way, all of this also, this is the other crazy thing. Whatever I put here as a property, that's also going to participate in serialization as well. So when I save the file, that new property is saved and then restored automatically. So the whole thing is beautifully architected, right? And we did all of this in, I think, the last 9 episodes. So kind of interesting stuff. Okay, now we're working on being able to drop a character out here. What's happening? Let's just run it. Fun. Let's see what happens. Look at that.
It's a character.
It's a character. Oh my gosh, and there may be something out here. Let's, can I move it in and will we actually see it? Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. That's awesome. Now,
it should be noted that the amount of code that was necessary to produce this, given that we already had everything with the stamps, was pretty minimal.
It was.
We reshaped a little bit of it. We moved a little bit of it. We adjusted the hierarchy to sort of push a few things up and move a few things around. But we did not generate very much additional code.
Yeah.
And this is another benefit of the architecture being as good as it is.
It's not bad. Now, a couple things we need to do. This is rendered, these characters are rendered at twice the zoom. The resolution is everything else. And the reason is because the eyes are going to be on these characters. So when you're zoomed in at 100%, or actually 200% on the map, so when the map is up at 200%, which is about right there. When the map is at 200, this guy's going to be at 100%, which is 100% is going to look like, I think when the map is at 50%. right about there. So his 100% will look, I think, something like that. If I'm
It'll
getting this
fit
all correct.
pretty neatly within one of those
Or,
squares.
no, wait, I'm sorry. His 100% will be there. So he'll look that, yeah, he's going to fit within the squares. Let's
Whereas
fix
the
that.
base will anyway.
Yeah, let's fix the scale now. That is in create floating. That's some of the code we just kind of got rid of. And I think I'm going to delete because I need to add some using statements here. Normally I would like to work in edit and continue. Let's go actually get to create floating. Let's go find the one in stamp and grab some of that code there. We need the scale transform is what we need on this guy. And is it just that? It's just that right there. It's essentially that code there. So we're going to put this in here. We need to add a using statement to this. And now we're going to come down here. We're going to say we want a new scale transform. Drone's not working, kids.
Apparently not.
Yeah, I think things broke just around the time. By the way, Jeff Fritz, if you're still with us, this is that problem I was talking about that occurred. The where we lose control of the overlays sometime during the show. And fanfare stopped working and stuff like that. I have to kind of manually trigger them, and remote control doesn't work. So as long as Rory's here, it's not too bad. Rory can keep an eye on the chat room, double check, make sure we're good there. And now what I want to do is I want to say image.transform, right? What is it? It's layout transform. What am I using on the other side? I'm going to go double check what I was using here. It's layout transform. All right, cool. So layout transform is equal to my scale transform. Okay, that's one of the things we need to do. The rest, I think we can work with and edit and continue. Pudding's going to be back. Copper Beardy, we haven't played Copper Beardy's fanfare. Here's Copper Beardy. Don't like getting wet, though. Trying to do a show.
Copper Beardy is in the house.
Copper Beardy is in the house. Here we go. Let's go to damage. Let's put like a hole in the floor. It's one of my favorite things to do here. I don't know. Something like that. Isn't that awesome?
That's pretty good.
I love it. And then with that new feature we added, we have the ability to come down in here and say, oh, okay, well, let's, here, let me zoom this up a little bit. We have the ability to say, well, let's put this at low altitude and let's lock it. And now that it's locked, I can't move it anymore. I can't move it. I can select it, but I can't move it until I unlock it. Wait, does that dungeon look like a whiskey bottle on purpose? Kind of on purpose. We're trying to make this the smallest dungeon that we could, so we can do some testing here on this. All right, let's now drag our character in, and we should see it now showing up at the proper scale.
That's already looking good.
Okay, that doesn't look good. Height and width. Oh, I know why. I know why. I know why. Hold on. It's okay. Well, the wrong place is another problem. But the height and width, I can fix that. The height and width, it's in map character. Oh, it is right here. How do I set the height and width? Where am I setting it in stamp? It's interesting. It's getting it from something. It's getting it from the size of the image. That's the original size of the image before we scaled it down. If I do 1/2 on it, oh, look at that. That's kind of interesting. That's like really bizarre. I didn't even know how that worked because that's a map character, not a stamp. I want to give that some thought before I fix that. Let's drop down to skeleton. Do the same, click on 1/2 on that. Here's a skeleton. But I am liking that the characters are starting to be able to show up now.
Yeah.
That's going to look pretty cool. Yeah. I'm feeling like we are getting close. The other thing that we're close to, what's cool about this, is in Dungeons and Dragons, there are loads of rules based on two-dimensional geometry. And a few based on three-dimensional geometry. So wherever we are looking, as we kind of move this guy around, we might be casting a spell in that direction, for example. There might be an object between the two. For example, if I put me here, put this guy over here, like he's about to shoot me, and then we go over into stamps and we say, let's go into furniture, and let's grab like a table and drop that down here on the game board like this. Send that to the back like that. Oops, let's send this one to the back. Can I send it to the back even though it's locked? I can. Okay, cool. So now we can come in and we can say, hey, this table offers cover, like maybe 1/2 cover, meaning if I'm in the line of fire behind it, that this guy, it's harder for this guy to hit. He rolls at like a disadvantage or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I get a boost in armor class, something like that. So kind of cool. You know, we didn't check this, but if I want to see if I move this around, if I'm able to hit undo, nice. I'm just undoing right now and then redoing on it. So cool. So yeah, I've got all of those features available. Can I also, since I was able to resize it, can I actually do this? Oh, I shouldn't be able to do that. And then I can flip him too. That's a little crazy. Something we need to give this some thought and figure this out. So, yeah. So I don't know. That's I'm kind of feeling like we are, I'm kind of actually feeling like I want to say that's a show. It's kind of what I want to do. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not exactly sure where to go next is kind of where I'm at on this. Well, we need to save. I think we still have problems is kind of the my thoughts on that. I don't know. I got everybody here and I don't want the show to I don't want you to now watch me being stuck. How do I get through this? I don't know. Now that I've said it and identified it, I think I'm going to go ahead and go for it. So we need to fix the initial drop. The initial drop is coming in. The size here is looking good here, but when I drop it, it's not good. And I think we need to figure that part out. Why is the drop not working? Let's go look at this. Here's the floating. I want to see, is anything descending from map character? I don't think so. No. Okay, could. All right, so this is the floating. So when we hit add character, that's when we're creating a floating element. That floating element is coming in at the correct scale. But when we click, then I think this is where we have something separate happening here. Click. Let's see if we can figure that out. Single click, maybe there it is. Handle single click. Is it not a tile select though? Well, we can come here and do a tab to next reference, see who calls this. Handle tile click. All right, here we go. This is where we're creating that stamp. I think. Handle mouse down select. Is that true or not? Maybe not. Let's see. Click. Nope, that's not there. Here, I think. Click. There it is. Okay, let's step into it. See what's happening here. I think what's happening is we're creating a regular stamp for it, Rory, and it's not a regular stamp. It's got enough properties that it's like, well, I think it's calling add stamp. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, so let's do this. I think we need a new map edit mode here. And so we're going to, this is going to be characters. And we're going to say, Handle characters mouse down. Oh, I'm already nervous. I'm not going to do that, actually. Handle stamp mouse down. I'm getting close, though. But I want... active stamp. I think, hold on, where are we assigning this? Create floating stamp. Okay, here we go. That's where we create it. So I think what I want to do is this. Hey, look, if active stamp is a map character, then I want to create something totally different.
Fair enough, yeah.
I want to see what's going on with stamp properties data. We get a GUID off of it. Okay. So these are going to tell us what this is accessing in the add stamp command. What does it need? It needs a GUID. Okay. We're going to revise this. I'm not ending the show. I'm going to keep going.
This is a plan. Fair enough. Sadly, my time is maybe not quite so...
Seriously, Roy?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what I got to do. I'm going to do it. Oh, man.
Don't do it, Mark.
Oh.
It's not that sad.
Rory, I wish you'd stay. It's okay. Don't worry, everybody. It's okay. Because I got
There's a
this.
solution.
I got that right there. That's going to happen. Right there. All right.
You'll be a little careful in real life, Mark, because, you know, you can't take that approach everywhere.
I can't?
No.
I bring this...
Those little power-ups don't exist just walking down the street.
I bring the air conditioning remote with me everywhere I go. But okay. All right. I'm going to learn my lesson. Okay, buddy. Thanks so much, Roy. Right. We will see you.
Be careful tomorrow.
I will be
Keep
careful
yourself alive.
every day. That's what I'm going to do.
I will see you on Tuesday.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
What are we doing here? Add stamp is here. Stamp properties. We need Z order. Add to the stamp. I don't actually want to call to add stamp here. I want to add something new to stamp properties data. And I almost want to say, let's do a couple things here. Let's do a rename on this to call it item properties data. And change this to item properties. Wait, where is, oops, item properties. Let's rename these. So my goal here right now is to kind of decouple the creation. This items property data is passed into the command to add a new stamp, which is connected to undo and redo. Here's the add stamp right here inside of map. Change this to item properties. And now what I want to do is we're going to call this item. And then I'm going to say, hey, if item, no, hold on one second. I'm going to rename this to add item, like that. Then I'm going to come down into here and say, hey, look, if item is iStamp properties, like that, then we're going to do this. Otherwise, we're going to go into system.diagnostics.debugger.break. We're going to break. Get in there. Okay, so there's my add item. Which I can group. Cool. Cool. Select stamps by GUID. I'm going to give it a GUID. So we need to go to, I think, base stamp properties. We need to take that GUID property that's down low in GUID, and we need to pull that member up to base item properties, like that. Okay, and throw it in item properties as well. Let's move this to its own file. And our map character, we should set that GUID when we create a new instance of it. Let's look at what stamp does actually. I do not set the GUID in my constructor. Where do I set the GUID of this thing? Let's go find it. Find the property GUID. Let's do a Shift F12 on this to find all references, because then we can filter the references only by assignments here. If it writes to it. Okay. Looks like, what are these, clones? Yeah, transfer properties there. Transfer from, okay, so we're just transferring properties back and forth. Base stamp. It's in the constructor for base stamp. Fair enough. So we need the same thing in our constructor and our map character class. In its constructor, we need that. Okay. All right, let's go back over. Just want to do a build, see what we're looking at. Oh, don't need it there. Oops, also don't need these two. Get left and get top. We don't need those because we moved those up. What else? Add stamp. Oh, I called it add item. And it's item properties. Okay. Now what do we got? Okay. So add stamp, I think I've got an add stamp command out there. I change it to add item. Okay. Let's report a code rush issue here. We are, by the way, dog fooding code rush while we're writing code here. Here's the, I'm hitting the code rush key to jump to symbol. So I paste this. Oh, did I think I deleted to. Okay, so now check it out. I've deleted the filter, but it's not filtering anymore. Whoa, it's got several lines. I've got multiple line selection of code on the clipboard. Is that my problem? I think that might be my problem. Hold on, let's take a look at it. Oh yeah, I've got multiple lines of code. So here's what I did. So this is the problem. I'm bringing up the nav to symbol. I'm pasting several lines. I hit Shift Home to delete it and just start typing my new symbol, but it's not searching because there are actually multiple lines here. If I hit up arrow, oh come on, I can't up arrow or down arrow. Oh, oh yeah, there we go. So you see the additional lines? There they are right there. I've got to keep deleting until it's actually truly all the way back. So the fix to this is we cannot allow multiple lines, any carriage returns come in. We've got to strip out the carriage returns. That's the fix. So let's finish reporting that issue. We'll say nav window should not accept carriage returns or line feeds in a pace. There it is right there. So CodeRush gets, the CodeRush team gets an email, a link to this part of the video, a log as well, and they get those and are able to work on that. So if it's a map character, I want to change add stamp to add item. Here's add stamp command right here. Did I change that? Nope, I did not. Let's rename this to add item command. Rename the file. And let's go get this and change it to add item. Let's also do a search to see if there are any other strings with add stamp in them. Okay. This one's going to be add item. And I think I want to give it also similarly a constructor that accepts a file name, an X, and a Y, like that. And then we're just going to set those properties here. Like that. Okay, that's going to add the item. Let's go look at that execute command on there and see what trouble we're going to get into here. Whoops, not there. It is in add item command. Let's jump back. I want to change. I want to make this remove item. I'm going to rename it for now. Jump into it. And this is going to be an item properties we're passing in. And here we're going to do a check to say, hey, if this item is stamp properties, then we're going to call remove on stamps. Otherwise, we're going to say characters, remove item, I think. And just like we've got stamps up here, I think we're going to need something called characters. We're not serializing it. We are going to need to serialize it at some point. We're not going to be able to store it until we impact this. So we're going to throw a to-do out here, serialize the goods, the character goods. So reconstitute stamps. We're going to need something similar here. Reconstitute characters. This. Yeah, I think we're going to need to do this right now. Let's do it. Serialize characters. Let's come in here. Guess who's back? You're with us, Pudding. Seal said, Camp does cool stuff. Clearly planning ahead for the Wild Turkey sponsorship. That's referring to the whiskey bottle. It's Pudding. All right, so serialized characters is there. What's inside serialized stamp? Got some important properties. We're descending from base stamp properties. And which goes from base item properties. So I think we're going to create a new class here called serialized character. It's going to similarly descend from base item properties. Prepare stamp for serialization. What's happening out here in the outside world? It's just preparing groups of things. We're not going to be able to group characters, so I actually don't need that in this class right here. Okay, we'll grab these. The add child is also not needed. That's for supporting grouping, serialization of groups. All right, Pudding. Duly noted. Yeah. Duly noted. Pudding wants us to do something about those channel points. Wants to be able to buy things, make things go crazy. Yeah, okay. Fine. Duly noted. We'll spend at least one day next week trying to figure out that problem. That's my intent right now. I'll give you that my intent. I think we need this. We need a from in here. That's what I think. What are channel points? You know, Coding Gorilla, I don't have a strong answer to that question on that. I don't know if the Twitch API supports channel points yet, though. Well, I just assumed it was something you were able to go out and check as a viewer on here and that you have a certain amount of channel points. But if not, we do know that we're internally tracking other things like number of shows that you watch and things like that. So a number of coins you've collected, things like that. So I've already got a built-in kind of channel point kind of thing like that. But let's make the chat colorful. Basically looking for a way to buy things, that sort of thing. You can, by the way, Pudding, if you type in like, I think bang question mark like that, you should get, well, you should get, it's not working now, but you should get a list of the things you can do, which we can't do because we need to reset the overlays, which now that I brought it up, should I do it now? It's about a 5-minute deal to go through the process. I think I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep trying to stay focused on this. Yeah, I'm going to hold off on the serialized. I'm actually going to hold off on this, I think. The serialized characters. I'm not going to populate it yet. Other than just this, I'm not going to give it any of these events. I'm not going to get it transfer properties, I think, yet. Or will I? Hold on. Yeah. All right, let's do it. We are going to change this up a little bit. We're going to say base.transfer properties here. Let me grab this, pop it there. Come down here, say base.transfer properties. Stamp properties, like that. Let's go back up. I actually want this to be of type item properties, though. I'm not going to rename that yet. X and Y. Visible. File name. Height and width. Height and width. Good. Item properties doesn't have visible height or width. Let's move those up. Well, that's weight. Hold on, I don't want weight. Height and width, and what was the other one? I forget. Visible. It was right there. So delete those. and bring them up over here. Like with invisible. That's all good now. Here's my transfer properties over here. This needs to be an override. Shoot. No, it does not necessarily need to be an override. Because I've got different parameters here. I think there's no need to prepare the stamp for serialization. This is a simpler version of the serialized stamp. This one, we need an override on transfer properties, I think. But in this case, it's item properties. Yeah. Okay. Proof type to file. Let's look at serialized stamps. Where are those? Just using a code rush feature called tab to next reference. Serialized stamp event args, we don't need to know about that. Reconstitute stamp event args, we don't need that either. Okay, what's happening here? Where's get left? I think I can just delete these right here. So we move those up to the top. All right, continuing our search for serialized stamp. I need something like this inside of map character. Yeah, it's just like that. And is that it? I think those are the properties that we're saving in serialized character. Let's review that. Make sure that's the case. I've got height and width as well. Okay. So there's my transfer from. Create character from is here, and that's loosely based on create stamp from. Which is called in reconstitute stamp. So guess what I'm going to need? I'm going to need a call to that, which means I am going to need an event inside of map. The reason for the event structure here is because the map is low level and the UI is high level. And so the UI has access to higher level classes that have UI dependent properties, such as image, of type image. So that's kind of what we're looking for. We want to keep that separation. So let's go see what's going on here. All right, so here we're kind of coming full circle almost here. Reconstitute stamps. Look at stored stamps. Oh, we're up here in the stamp restore base command. Hold on. That's not where I wanted to be. There's my call to reconstitute stamps. That I don't care about. I'm looking at the one inside of map. Reconstitute stamps. Yeah, followed by reconstitute characters. Good. So this is what we're actually serializing out. Let's go look at everywhere serialized stamps is. And let's similarly prepare stamps for serialization. So now I think I need to prepare characters for serialization. Fair. Let's duplicate this as well. Prepare characters for serialization. This is going to be a list of map. No, serialized characters. No. I want this to be serialized characters dot add. Nope, 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 not what I wanted to do. I chose that by mistake. I didn't want that one. I wanted declare method. Let's go find where new serialized stamp is. Put this close by. Okay, so there's my new serialized character. Cool. So that looks like that's going to work now. We're going to be able to serialize the characters out. The saving looks good. Let's look at where else serialized stamps is used. We're kind of everywhere we're looking to make sure we've got something similar with our serialized characters. So there, got a call to reconstitute characters, good. We're clearing them, setting them both to null there. Yeah. All right, good. One other thing, I wanted to double check these two to make sure they're both built. Oh, that one's not. Okay. So let's make that work. Just doing 2 renames in a row to kind of get those, very quickly get those 2 back to where we want. And then we want an on add character, like this, and we're going to pass in serialized characters. Let's go to on add stamp and put this one really close by. Look at our event args. What are we bringing in here? All right. Okay, we created a new event args class. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a little bit of work here. Let's duplicate this. This is going to be that right there. Okay, there's my event args. Copy that to clipboard. See where this shows up. It shows up there. So we can duplicate all of that. Bring it down over here. Copper Beauty. That's what I'm going to do with those two. Hold on, I just want to rename this so it's matching my convention. Hey, Frackberg. Frackberg's with us. Yeah. So my machine can barely handle the high-res fanfare that is Frackberg's. I've since learned that if I'm going to do the graphics with Alpha Channel inside of them, I have to make them lower res, or my machine won't be able to handle it. Ship may have survived, but there was no living through that collision. Maybe with a seat belt. Okay, so with the serialized character, is there. On add character, I just want to make sure that we're passing in characters here. Yeah, my bad. Like that. There we go. Okay, on add character. Reconstituting character, we're going to need that event. Let's go duplicate this. And let's go find this. Duplicate that delegate right there. And let's build. Let's see what our issue is. Build again. Okay, let's go back over into, let's see, I feel like we're not close to done here. We just kind of handled some of the serialization. We need the creation, the add item. We need to go look at that. Okay, I kind of feel like I want to set a breakpoint here and see what happens. Let's do that and we'll follow it through. That's going to get us eventually all right, here we go. So let's go to characters, click on one of these, drop it down, and Okay, popping inside here. We're going to go right into here. What show selected stamps? Needed for the move. Consider only calling when it's actually a move. Okay. So we're in the base command, execute. Prepare for execution. We're in the add item command. Got nothing coming in selected stamps. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Then we're going into redo. We're in the base command. Then we're going into activate redo. Now we're in add item command. Calling map.addItem. Okay, and then here's our breakpoint. I think we can say here, we can say characters dot add item is what I think we can do. There's no Z order with characters. It's simply just added. Okay, so we'll do that. We've got one character now added. Let's go through our stamps. In order to see it, we're going to need some kind of refresh piece here where we draw it out. We call blend image on this piece here. Let's keep running. Map selecting stamps. Get stamp from good is null. I'm going to say this is unrelated for now. All right, now we're in the refresh. Shoot. Let's blend stamp image. So I am playing with kind of a different idea here. So I think what I want to do here Thank you, JMD, Fancy Beard. It's a fancy beard. Did just for you. Kind of. Oops, this should be item properties. There's my characters right there. Let's see. Now, can I get characters in it? There we go. Now I need to get an image from it. I could do this. If item is map character, then I can say something like this. Is map character high level, right? Yep, it is. It needs an image property, is what it needs. All right, let's go look at the stamp image property. I think we want something similar inside our map character. We are going to okay. Rotation is going to be 0. I have options that are really the file name is the last one. Interesting. 0. Saturation is 100. Lightness is 100. Contrast is 0. Scale is 50. Scale is 50. And the file name. That's kind of what I'm thinking and feeling. That's going to work for that. So that, I think, has a shot of showing the character when we drop it in. I don't know. Let's see what happens with the build. Build succeeded. Let's see what happens. We've been writing code for about 35 minutes. No testing. I'm going to run it from here. I'm going to keep running. That I think I'm ignoring it. I'd go to 0, double 0, all zeros. I'm a little bit like, wait, it didn't get initialized. I'm going to keep running it though. Oh, wow. So I think that worked. The only thing is my brightness and My brightness is incorrect. The value I'm passing into the brightness is not good. That's in map character. And maybe it's in contrast. I'm not sure. I need to take a look at what's happening in what those parameters are. So map character, create image. Contrast should be 0. Saturation adjust, lightness adjust should also be 0. Because they can go up or down. Okay. So that's my problem. Here. Breakpoint. Need to change those to 0. Not 100. That's slightly disconcerting. Okay. So this is going to be 0. That's going to be 0. Let's see how that works now. Are you happy now? All right, good. All right, not bad. Why is it that this guy he's lined in the upper left instead of, the mouse should be in the center of this guy or at his anchor point. Probably the anchor point is way more interesting. Let's get stamp. I'm not even sure how there gets to be a stamp GUID in here. There should be no stamp GUIDs at all. Let's look at my call stack. Huh. So the GUID for my map character is it, I thought I added code that we were going to set that GUID there. Oh, here's my problem. I'm constructing it here, but I'm not calling base. So this line of code, it never gets executed. So let's try one more time. All right. I'm sorry, I'm not calling this is what I want to do. I think I can do this. Like that. And I'm not sure if it's going to get up here in this call because we've already gotten past that. Whoops, I wanted the breakpoint here. Weird that it's allowing me to put a breakpoint there. I guess that's fair because that could become, it's a constructor. All right, and now let's drop one more. Now we get up here because from here now. Now I bet we get rid of that problem. It's a different problem. Get stamp from GUID, it's now no longer there. Let's go with selected stamps. I'm thinking about changing this to item properties. And I'm feeling like, let's end the show. Let's do this about now. I'm going to get some lunch. Let's see who's out there. We'll send you guys on. What do we got? Let's send you to InstaFluff. We haven't gone to InstaFluff in a while. I'm going to raid you over to InstaFluff. Say hi to a good friend, InstaFluff, when you get there. And we will see you tomorrow. Roy will not be with us tomorrow, but we'll continue this. We're going to keep working on this tomorrow, and we'll go from there. All right. Here comes the raid to InstaFluff.